Afternoon, should I say, before I even think about it. Afternoon, everybody. Here we are once again with another one of those wonderful little chats that we have whenever I decide to put the camera on, if I'm feeling up for it, or if I get the time. And I have got the time today because you might not believe this, but I'm actually strategically having myself a 45, knowing full well that where I got to go next, and the time I did have, wouldn't be enough to get up there to then come back here to have a break. So I'm doing it this way around. But while I'm here, you know what I mean, I might as well indulge a little. If you haven't gathered by now, I'm at Lymm truck stop. I was on about 3 hours 10 minutes driving, because I was on my way up to Chorley from Neston. I was thinking, by the time I get to the M6 it's going to be so much, and then by the time I get from the M6 up to Chorley it's going to be so much more, and that means I have to sit up there and have a 45-minute break, when realistically this is much more appropriate. You know what I mean? I think so anyway. I was just wondering if there's any nice trucks about today. It is quite busy, but I haven't seen anything that jumps out at me. Well, on the weekend, specifically Saturday morning, I took my car up to my nephew's mates at this garage to have my front springs replaced, because one of them had snapped. And when he got the car, he went, "Oh fuck, it's one of them, ain't it?" Apparently they're a bit of a pig to swap the springs over. And in any case, I said, well, crack on, like, you know, do what you can. So I'm off, and I'm back home, then I'm faffing what I'm faffing with, and the phone rings. Well, does he ring me or text me? I think he texted me first, and he says that it's been a bit of a pig. Everything's rusted solid. It's an absolute mare, and it's going to be this much. He says, "Oh, unless you want just to do the one side." I'm like, "No, we'll crack on with both sides." So then I found him. Mum says, "What's up?" Anyway, he says, "I've never." He says, "It's rotten." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "It's rotten." I says, "It ain't." He says, "All the bolts and shit and all the ball joints are solid. They're seized in, but the rest of the car's fine." Right, it's just all the bolts and stuff are all a bit seized up because they haven't been touched for the better part of 12 years, like, you know what I mean? But he got it done, got both of them done, and to fit them it cost me 100 quid, which, to be honest with you, is far cheaper than what Ford was going to ask me for. I mean, Ford wanted 206 quid just for the springs. I'm like, I'll get back to you. And then it turns out that the car parts place down the road from us actually supply Ford, and they only cost £22 fucking 70 something. Mad. So I bought them from there instead. When I picked it up and drove it around, the steering was really light. It was very light. I mean, obviously it's got to settle, but the front end of the car now is about fucking 3.5 inches higher up than it was originally. So I think the springs were worn out anyway, to be honest with you. So I'm glad I had it done. But the all fairness, it's an expense that I could have done without, to be fair. I didn't really want to do it, but when they break, don't they? And with things like that, you can't just do one side, you have to do both. Same with brake pads or brake discs. You don't just change the one, you change them both. You know what I mean? Things like that anyway. It's the same with diesels and injectors. Diesels and injectors, right? You should never ever just change the one that doesn't work. You change the fucking lot. Because trust me, now as soon as you change that one and put it back together again, another week's time and the other fucker's going to go. Lifters, another one. You don't just change the one that's worn out, you change the fucking lot. It just makes sense, really. Because if you've got it apart, then you might as well just do them all, hadn't you? That's how I look at it. But the difference with the springs is that you have to disassemble one side, put that together, reassemble it, and then disassemble the other side, and then reassemble it. So it is a little bit different, but it always makes the car drive a little bit more in balance if you do them both, not just the one. But he certainly does know his stuff, though, when it comes to taking things apart. When he was replacing the bearing hub on my Explorer, I mean, the things that he was doing, and that was on his drive at his house, like, you know what I mean? Funny. And that was a good laugh, that was. We all chipped in then. Everybody. We all did a little bit. Just made it easier. The main reason for going down there, though, would be to do all the car stereos normally. And my nephew keeps changing his bloody car, and we have to keep disassembling and reassembling his car stereo. That's better. I feel that one. I've got about 50 minutes left. Not bad, that. I was feeling a bit icky. I mean, I'm still not 100% now, to be fair. Hang on a minute. ejecting it out of my fucking lungs. Fucking snot everywhere. Ah. Oh, for fuck's sake. No wonder I fucking well with that shit fucking hibernating up there. I need more tissue. I just run out. Fuck. No, we're alright. We've got a fucking shed down there. Here's some I had earlier. Fuck, it's all up me. It's all up me face and everything. Fuck, I can breathe. Holy crap. Phew. Man, I'm sure that come from under here. That needs somewhere, like, you know what I mean? Holy crap. Yeah. So that happened. Oh dear. Fucking brought waters in my eyes, that has. Fucking hell. Yeah. Fuck's sake. Fucking feels like a right gremlin would have been fucking hibernating in that area. Oh, it's right there. Fuck me. Oh, I'm exhausted. After all that now, I'll tell you, I've got my head a puff. Oh, I better do some fucking quiet dying, hadn't I, instead of all this noise and fuck what. Good grief. I'm still having a bit of a... When I swallow, on this one side here, it's still a bit sharp. It comes and goes though, it's not something that's all the time. But yeah, I still, like I say, I'm still not 100% yet. So I'll just in a bit of a reposition. But other than that though, was it like just yesterday I think it was, or was it the day before as well? I mean, I think yeah, while my car was duff and it was being fixed, I had a quick blast on World War II. I mean, they've done this, the new fucking download content has come out, hasn't it? So, and a quick bash on that. The maps are quite cool. I am impressed with the maps. I couldn't recognise any framework of old maps that they normally tend to reskin, don't they? They'll have an old map and then they'll just redo it and make it look like something different. But all the trails are like, well, that's identical to that map and that map. But no, I couldn't find anything like that. So. But anyway, I was playing that for a bit and I got bored. So then I stuck on Detroit Becoming Human again. I'd already played halfway through it for the second time, so I just finished that off. And when I'd finished it off, I decided to play it again because I wanted to try to do some different scenarios, because obviously there's a beginning, there's multiple threads through it, and then there's a few different endings you can have as well. So I'm trying to find as many as I possibly can, and I found some really interesting stuff on this third time around. That was great, really good. I managed to get into CyberLife's main building where they store all the androids, which was quite cool. The problem is though, with that particular section of the game, I had to keep restarting that chapter, because when I got into the lift with the two guards, you got to kick the shit out of these two guards. But I tell you what, my fucking fingers and my thumbs are crap with them controllers. I tell you, I just ain't quick enough. So, but third time I managed to crack it, and and got that done, which, believe it or not, that 3 attempts. The first one failed, second one failed, and the third one I managed to do it, get past the guards. That was around about an hour to do that, because of where the chapter starts and where you got to carry on from, because each chapter has a save point. But it's worth it though to get to the next level, because I'm thinking Connor, the CyberLife android that's been allocated to the Detroit Police Department to help solve these android murders, I'd managed to keep him alive. Yes, managed to keep him alive all the way through the bloody game. Now normally he gets snuffed off a couple of times. Well, yeah, I think because when you go into that, there's an area that he goes and meets this woman called Amanda, and when he meets he gives her all the spiel and what have you, what's going on and how far he's getting with the investigation and all that sort of shit. And if you go out where you start from, if you walk across the edge and you look to your right, if you have died, you'll see tombstones of his previous bodies, if you like, if that's what you call them. But there is one thing that I'd love to know what it is. And over the far side of that area, there's this like a monument thing. It's only a small thing with a hand print recognition thing in the centre of it. So you put your hand on it and it comes up, you know, a little triangle. So you hold the triangle down and it fills up and then buff. Then he just jumps back. But it doesn't show you what that's all about. So I'm assuming somewhere there's going to be an end sequence that will reveal itself and what that's all about. But I just don't know. But it is fun though. It is a bloody good game. And when you do complete as well, for bonuses and stuff like that, in the gallery, at the end of it, when you go back to the menu, where it say new game, continue, blah blah blah, all the rest of it, you have like there's bonuses like there'll be a gallery, photographs, avatars. There's video clips as well of trailers of the game or the making of the game, and I've had a watch of them, and I've got all them now to a point. So yeah, it's quite cool though, is to watch all that and see what how they put it together, especially the acting side of it when they're acting out the sequences. It's mental, I tell you, because they're doing all this and it's literally in a room. All those sequences are all in just one big room, like a big sports hall or something. But there's like a gazillion cameras all around this sports hall, and they've got all those markers all over them, and then on the face they've got all those little pinpoint dots all over the face as well. So the facial recognition camera that's attached to their head can copy their facial movements and all that sort of shit. But it's really, really interesting. Hats off to the actors though, and the actresses that are doing all that, because they've got to not only act out the scene, they've got to imagine the scenery and everything around them as well. They've got to imagine where they are at that particular point, even though they might be like driving down a road somewhere in a car in this big room, or the next thing they might be having a fight scene in the same spot. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really cool, honestly. It's clever. Some smart people out there, you know. Yeah. But I might have another crack at it on the weekend, I don't know yet. See what else I can come up with. Because I finished it last night for the third time. After doing that one chapter, I had to do it because I just couldn't accept the fact that Connor got his head blown off in that elevator. I just had to change that. I couldn't do it. I thought, no, I've got this far, I've got to fucking read this again. Crap. Yeah. There is one thing I haven't done yet though, and that's because at the end of the game, on that point when it finishes, and all the androids are marching as they say millions of them marching through Detroit, like, you know, and they say, right, that's it. We're going to have to recognise that androids are a living new species and they are sentient and all that sort of shit. But there is one thing I haven't seen an end sequence to yet, and that's, well, I haven't. The one that I did find was where the pair of them frigging snuff it, and that's Cara and... what's the kid's name again? Alice. Cara and Alice. They managed to get across to the other side of the border, but they snuff it on the bank. So I've got to try and figure out how to get them to the happy ending. So that's another scenario I'm going to try and figure out. Other than that, though, on another note, which has got fuck all to do with this, in another, what would it be, a week? We're on the 10th now, so a week was, no, it's not a week, it's 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks' time, it's cinema trip down to go and see Peppermint. I want to go and see that. You cannot beat a bit of Jennifer Garner kicking ass. Simple as. And if any of you out there, the old Alias fans, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I am looking forward to that. It should be good. There's a couple more coming out as well, ain't there? I'm not sure what. Still contemplating whether to bother to give us that Mission Impossible thing. I might. I don't know yet. No one's told me that it's worthwhile, but hey ho. I will be honest with you. Even though there are some of the films that I enjoyed of Tom Cruise's in the past, what really put me off and sort of like sealed the fucking the thing for me is when he took on the character of Jack Reacher. Now, I could understand doing a franchise of Jack Reacher, but why on earth would you use Tom Cruise for that particular role? I have no idea. He's fucking so far from the character, it's just unbelievable. Well, at least they could have had like near enough. I mean, I know, yes, okay, it's actors and they can just do the story, but it's still, if you've ever read Lee Child the Jack Reacher series, which I've read fucking several of those books, if not, I can't remember, I must have gone through these 10 of them, I think. When you start at the very, very beginning, and a few books in, you get to understand that Jack Reacher as a character and Tom Cruise playing Jack Reacher, the character, they don't fit. And I thought, no, it just, no, disappointing. Very disappointing indeed. Oh, couldn't you have found somebody else? It's unbelievable. There's got to be somebody out there which is somewhere near the 6'4" mark that can be trained up to do whatever. There's got to be somebody out there. Got to be. I mean, what's his name? Sam. Something Worth? What's it? Oh fuck! What's he called now? Oh fuck! The one who plays Thor. Is he closer towards the 6 foot something mark? I'm sure he's about 6'2", ain't he? Like 6'3". I mean, they are, because in the details, right, when he's being described, this Jack Reacher, before mid-break finishes, he's 6'4", his brother's 6'5", but they're like 250 plus pound of sheer fucking army trained muscle, and well, he was an MP, he was a military police, so he's pretty much a fucking a he-man anyway. But compare that to the likes of Tom Cruise, it just doesn't fit, and it was such a fucking shame. I don't know, such a shame. There's no need for it. Just no need. Whether you agree or not, I don't know. But if you ever have, like I say, read the Lee Child books with Jack Reacher, there are some brilliant stories in there. And I got to about this. I'm sure it was about 6 or 7. I can't remember how many books I've read now. But there was one that I actually struggled with, believe it or not. And it's not because I suppose, how can I put it? I struggled with it because the story in it and the way it was written, it didn't feel like Lee Child had actually written this. It felt like he was somebody else had written it, you know, either with him or as he's now. I don't know, but it just came across weird. It didn't feel the same. It was ever so strange. Don't know. Not sure. Anyway, I'm gonna go, and I will speak to you a lot later. We've got a bin here close. There's one over there. Hello. I will speak to you a lot later. Have a good day, and yeah, behave. That's all I can say. And try not to get this lurgy that I've had, because there's been nothing worse than having this lurgy. It's crap. Done. See you later. Bye.